Hey guys, so today gonna be doing a bit of a different video. Gonna be a bit of a rant, but I'm gonna tie it into Pokemon investing and just life in general, right? I think it's kind of important topic to talk about. So a couple days ago, I made a video titled "PokeTubers Are Clowns," and called out a couple people for saying basically baseless claims that weren't backed by anything, and just being disingenuous and got a bit of backlash from him for it. Definitely went at it with J Love if you guys have watched the video. And this morning, Pokebeard was in my comments saying that he hates Pokemon investors. Or sorry, he said, to be fair, he said he doesn't like Pokemon investors, which if you look up the word hate, like really semantically, it just comes down to a degree of what you know, the degree at which you don't like someone. So he doesn't like Pokemon investors, but still is a Pokemon investor. And this video isn't about these people. It's really not important. Like, arguing with peanut brains on the internet, like it doesn't really bother me, right? Like I'll talk a bit of shit. I grew up playing Modern Warfare 2 on the Xbox 360. If you grew up in the same time period and you played that game, you probably know what I'm talking about on Xbox Live. But the point of this video is a lot of these people, other than them being disingenuous, right? Like it really just frustrates me when people punch down on other people and they say things, especially when they're in a position of power, that is misinformed, or even worse, is intentionally said with the acknowledgement or understanding that it is not a true statement, simply for monetary gain. So, in the sense of a lot of these people, they claim to be fans or collectors. They don't want to be investors because apparently investors are evil, right? And we'll get into that and talk about, you know, choice in life and, free will. But a lot of these people don't want to be seen as investors. They want to bash investors because it's cool, makes them look morally superior to other people. But more importantly, it puts more money in their pocket because more people watch their videos. They have a wider audience they can reach. If they talk about things like that, they discuss things like that. Just Pokemon in general, right, is such a larger bubble on YouTube than just the very small Pokemon investing niche. So a lot of it is just for monetary gain, right? And a lot of these people aren't honest about their intentions. I'm always honest with you guys, right? I'm here to make money. Whether it be on YouTube, like it, YouTube's a ton of work and it's not really worth the money until you get to like a super high level. But you also need to provide value to people. Like if people aren't learning anything, they're not entertained from your content, they're not going to watch it, right? So YouTube really rewards the best. Like it's a competition. You have to be the best. And a lot of these people also don't have a lot of talent inherently. They aren't very smart people in, the broader aspect of what you'd call smart, but they're very good YouTubers. They understand how to get engagement. They understand how to get clicks. And they also don't have a moral compass, so they're willing to forego morals and being a just person in society to have more money. And I'm not willing to do that, right? Like at the end of the day, when I'm on my deathbed, at the end of my life, God willing, it's a long life. I can hopefully do everything I want in my life. When I'm on my deathbed, when I'm looking back at everything I did, the only things that are going to matter are family, experiences, at least to me, right? Family experiences, and then being a just and honest person. Like if I can look back and say that I didn't wrong anyone intentionally, I didn't scam anyone, I tried to live a proper life, at least, to the best degree I could. And we're not all perfect. Like I'm definitely not perfect, right? Like I'm in the comments calling this guy fucking fat and that he needs to take a walk, right? Or like I'm calling J Love a clown. So don't look at me for being the most morally just person in society, but I'm trying, right? So and when it comes to money and scamming people and stuff like that and just being honest, like I try my best to be honest. Like I try not to lie, right? Like I won't say I don't lie, right? Because we're all humans, we make mistakes, but I try my very best to be honest and live in a way that I'd be proud of, right? Like if I was just looking at it from an outside perspective. So, I tell people I'm here to make money. I'm Pokemon investing to make money. Like I'm not gonna fucking bullshit, make a video and call this a collection. To me, this isn't a collection. And if you look at the definition of the word collection, in theory, it could be a collection, right? Like I could genuinely say with utility, this is a collection. This is my Pokemon collection. I'd probably get more views on YouTube if I did that, right? But I'm not going to do that because to me, it's not a collection. It's an investment. I bought these everything behind me, right? Other than my clothes, obviously, but uh, all the Pokemon stuff in here, I bought with the intention of making money on. That's the point of it. It's an investment. So I'm always going to be honest with you guys, shoot straight. That's the first thing. But when it comes down to it, right, like I have a lot of issues with what people say about Pokemon investors just because none of it makes any sense. So, and I'll go over a couple of these quickly, right? So they talk about, a lot of these people talk about how, Pokemon investors are the reason that everything's getting so expensive. We're pumping the alt arts, we're pumping the boxes. The first part of that is, first of all, do you really genuinely believe this massive market that we call Pokemon is being influenced by this tiny niche market called pokeinvesting? And to be fair, like, when you look at the buying power, right, of everyone in the Pokemon hobby, this small niche of people has a way larger bubble because the people in this niche normally have money. They're genuinely older and they have money to spend. Whereas, like, Pokemon in general has a lot of children that don't have money. So, it makes sense. It's a decent argument with utility that you can make, right? So I'm not saying that, like, anyone who, says that Pokemon investing and, people, investors in general, aren't pumping products and, making products go up in price. I'm not saying that's a bad argument because I actually agree to an extent, right? To say it's the primary factor or to say that it's the only factor, which I've heard some people say, you have zero evidence for this, right? That's the problem. If you're going to make a claim like this, where's your evidence? Back it up, man. Like, this morning I was talking with, and then I won't even get into that, but, the point is that just, like, you need to have evidence. You need to have proof. And if someone wants to bring me proof and prove to me that Pokemon investing and investors in general are the only reason the Giratina Vina PSA 10's $1,000 now, or the only reason the Umbreon's like almost $1,000 raw, whatever it is, right? Like, if you have evidence to prove this, like, I'm all ears. Like, I'll listen to you, right? Like, I'll admit I'm wrong, but I know no one has that information, right? So, because like, no one knows that. Like, it's impossible to tell. So vilifying someone or a group of people, and I can't remember if I read these definitions or not, right? Like, I have the definition discrimination pulled up. It's basically just the unjust or prejudicial treatment of a different category of people. So investors in this case, right? And unjust just means not based on or behaving according to what is morally right and wrong. If you have no information, no backing for a claim, but you're going to treat someone differently for that, that's clearly not morally right or justified. Which is what these people are doing, right? Like, they're vilifying investors, immorally, with no backing for their claims. And that's, again, that's just one aspect, like the pumping aspect of certain products. But even if that were true, right? Like, say Pokemon investors were the only reason that Pokemon products and Pokemon cards and stuff like that were becoming more expensive. Like, it's the only reason a Fusion Strike box, which I have here, right? The only reason this box is now $240 US is because of Pokemon investors. So what? What's your point, right? I have 28 of these Fusion Strike booster boxes. 27 of them came from the Pokemon Center at MSRP. I actually bought all of these at MSRP when the current market value was less than MSRP. So I actually overpaid for my Fusion Strike booster boxes, which I'm now up like 50% on. I also bought them years after release from an official company, right? Like, it's Pokemon, right? Official distributor of the product. How am I, and a lot of the claims, right? Like, they'll say, well, you're scalping, you're buying out a store, you're not leaving any product for kids. I bought this years after release. Anyone who wanted Fusion Strike had time to get Fusion Strike. I didn't scalp. I haven't sold it yet, so I don't know how I could have scalped. I didn't buy out a store, right? Like, it's Pokemon Center. But the point is that anyone had the opportunity to buy this. And a lot of people bought these, right? A lot of collectors, a lot of fans, they bought these and they, cut the plastic, they pulled the packs out, they ripped the packs open, they got absolute dog shit, maybe, a couple V's and a rainbow. That was their choice. They bought the same product I bought. They chose to open it and turn $140 into $20. I chose to buy the product, keep it in a box, throw it in a closet with all my other stuff, and it's already up 50%. And in a few years, it's probably going to be up a lot more than that, to the point where I'm going to be able to double, triple my money on it and sell it. We both made a choice under free will. No one was forcing us to buy it. No one was forcing us to do a specific thing with it. We made a choice under free will, and you have to deal with the consequences of your actions. That's society nowadays, right? Like, a massive debate in life right now is on equality versus equity. Equality is essentially equal opportunity for everyone. Equity is equal outcome for everyone. They want you to have the same end result. That's not real life, and that's not possible. But a lot of people are trying to do it, with like diversity hires and shit like this, to the point where it's actually like reverse racism. I'm not going to get into that right now. Like, if you go look at like job postings in Canada, they'll literally say, if you're like a white man, like, don't apply, like, we're not going to give you the job. Like, we're at a point where, DEI and like equity is basically reaching reverse racism. But that's a comment for the political channel. If you guys are interested, like, let me know and you can go watch that. But where was I going with this? It's the same thing in Pokemon, right? Like, if people were opening a booster box of Fusion Strike and they got $240 US out of each box they opened, right? Like, if they got the same amount of cards as they did worth of the booster box price, no one would complain, right? If someone pulled a Gengar, they wouldn't be complaining, right? It's just that people lose money where other people gain money. And then hate comes from above. Hate never comes from above. Hate always comes from below, right? So if you're making money on your boxes, doing nothing, just chilling in a closet, someone who opened their box and got absolutely nothing, they're going to be quite pissed off, right? They're going to have to find someone to blame. And it's a lot easier to blame someone else, to blame someone who's successful, than to look internally and blame themselves. Like, I bought the box, I opened the box, I made that decision consciously under free will, and I got almost nothing for it. Like, it's a gamble, right? Like, that's a lot harder to do than just blaming an investor. Well, they're pumping the product and this and that and blah 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 blah, scalping. Come on, like, you're not fooling anyone, man. Well, I guess they are fooling people. That's kind of the reason why I'm making this video, right? Like, it just rubs me the wrong way that people can't accept the results they make for themselves in life, right? Like, you're going to take your own path, you're going to do your own things in life. They're going to be completely different from everyone else. And by the way, like, I'm not bashing investors, I'm not bashing collectors. I'm literally only bashing the disingenuous people on the internet that are purposely disingenuous for their own gain. They just want to make money, and they're saying things that they know aren't factually true, aren't morally true, and even if it's not provable, like things that are very unlikely to actually be true, they say all these things just to make money. And those are the people that bug me. But I know there are a lot of people that open cards and stuff like that, and they love it. It's their hobby. And a lot of them are very successful, like way more successful than I am, right? There are a lot of people that invest that are way more successful than I am. People that I have problems with, right? Like J Love and Pokebeard. They have much more successful channels than I do. Even my main channel is nowhere near, what they're at. So, you got to give respect to people where they've earned it, where they put in the work, right? So I'm not bashing anyone for that, but just it is what it is. We're all going to take different paths in life. We're all going to do different things, and the end result, for the most part, obviously there are some things out of our control. You could get cancer, you could, meteor could fall on you, right? Like, you could be in an airplane accident. Like, there's so many things that could happen, but for the most part, your choices are going to dictate your future. And the only person to blame at the end of the day, if you are a conscious adult, you're making choices under free will, is yourself. So don't go blaming investors for things that you did. Don't go blaming investors for problems that you caused. Don't go blaming investors that your life sucks, that you're fat. Like, don't go blaming other people for anything, right? At the end of the day, it's you, okay? And I guess to wrap up this video, because it's long-winded and it's a rant, what are we at now? 15 minutes, right? So to wrap this up, like, just do you. Understand that the choices you make today are going to affect your tomorrow. If you want to open a box, you're probably going to lose money. If you want to sit on a box, you're probably going to make money. And what other people say is going to be irrelevant, right? Like, if people want to bash you, don't let that change your goal, right? Like, there's always people in life that want to tear you down. There are going to be people that say that, you're evil for doing this. There are going to be people, they might question your job choice, whatever you want to do with your life, where you want to go on vacation. Like, don't listen to other people, man. Just do you, and you're going to be successful, right? Like, if these assholes make videos and it makes people quit investing, or makes them self-conscious about going to a store and buying a box or something, like, bro, don't let it affect you, because 5-10 years down the line, like when you're on your deathbed, none of this is going to matter, right? None of it is going to matter down the line. So just do you, reap the rewards of your decisions, or the consequences, if it's a bad decision. And to the people that are purposely making content on the internet for the sake of solely making money, which these assholes are, just for making money, and they're saying disingenuous shit, I would encourage you to stop, because at the end of the day, it's really just a conversation between you and God, if you believe in God. And if it's, not, if you don't believe in God, then it's just a conversation between you and yourself. And if you want to be an absolute asshole, you want to lie, you want to cheat, you want to manipulate people, you want to be disingenuous, I don't know, man. Just is what it is. Like, I guess we're in 2024, so people are going to do whatever the fuck they want. But, that's what it is, guys. So, for the people that have watched this far in the video, which I imagine won't be a lot of you, but for the people that did make it this far, for the people that support the channel, you guys leave likes and comments, and for the absolute chads that when you guys are shopping on eBay and Hobbiesville using the affiliate links, that really helps out monetarily sometimes. So, but all of you guys being here, thank you very much. I would encourage you not to be like me, in the sense that I talk shit on the internet. Don't do that. It makes you feel worse about yourself, and just make other people feel worse. Don't do what I did. That was dumb. But just in life, try and be a good person. But stick to your guns. Do you. With that said, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe wherever you are in the world. I'll catch you in the next one.